Today, we are very delighted to have a very good friend of mine, Mr. Arka, all the way from Kolkata. Arka is known for all the great things he does. I think most of you read Prana World, no? Some of you read articles from Prana World. You see their amazing website. How many of you connect to Prana World? Yes. So this is the man behind the show. Did you know that? So him and his partner, Madam Hangami, and they are the ones who actually do this amazing, amazing work we call the Prana World. And we're very lucky that he agreed. I was with him last week, and he generously agreed to do the session with us late. Do you know he's in India and it's 11 o'clock at night, and he's agreed to do this session. So Arka, welcome. Thank you. We are looking forward to this amazing session with you. We are very, very lucky to have you online. So can we all welcome Arka with a big hand? Yay! Thank you, Arka. We are very grateful. Over to you.
Thank you so much. First things first is a question that we always ask everybody, and that is, can you hear me? The first question that we ask everybody in all these sessions, because it's happened once that we were talking and talking and talking, and then someone messaged saying, and we're just ignoring the pop-ups, right? Because, it's very distracting. And someone says, we can't hear you. So then we stopped all the way again. It's like, you know what? Take care of housekeeping things first. Ask everybody before you have your spiritual connection, your financial connection, take care of your internet connection. That's one of the first most important things. So if you can hear me, just type a quick yes or a quick Y. Just type a quick Y on the chat, or if you can give a thumbs up, then that would be super. Okay. Now, all clear, all good? If you're not saying anything and you're quiet, I can just assume that we are communicating telepathically. That also works. Telepathic communication works, but I'm not sure if I'll be transmitting correctly. You will be receiving correctly, but I don't know if I'm transmitting correctly. Okay, so for all those who are connected via telepathy, just write T, and all those who are just here, a thumbs up is good enough. Okay, fantastic. There's one person who's joined via telepathy. Great. Well, I see your tea and I raise you my cup of tea. So cheers to everybody joining in. Always good to have, because tea is an essential element of the spiritual life. Spirituality, tea, prosperity, tea, hot cup of tea. So jokes apart, it's super important. It's super, super, super important to begin any session with two things. Well, first one you already heard, so three things. First one is the internet connection. The second one is starting with a sense of humor, having a sense of laughter, a sense of happiness, a sense of joy. Because if you're going to be doing service, if you're going to be bringing in prosperity energy, and you're like, oh, I am serious about this, I attract a lot of prosperity, I attract a lot of spirituality, and you're looking like so super serious, then prosperity energy will be scared to approach you. I mean, think about it. If you're going to go there, looking all rough and tough and like, I am a spiritual person, I have withstood so many storms of life, I can handle all of this. If you're going to be all serious, and then prosperity energy is going to find it scared to approach you, saying, Mister, I find it scary to talk to you. What are you going to do? So is it better to be super serious, or is it better to be super happy? Super happy, right? If you think it's super happy, give me a laugh, react, smile. Right, that's good. Someone's put up a wonderful little bird that's just hatching over there. I love that reaction. It just makes me feel so instantly happy. Whoever's put that bird over there, congratulations to you. Right? Yeah, okay, thank you, Rebecca. Okay, so starting everything with a smile is very important. And now for my knowledge, so that I know how to do this part, how many of you here there are three options. Option number one is just a pranic healer. So you've done basic, advanced psychotherapy, or just, basic. How many of you are Hathic yogis? And how many of you are just here because you want to see a very good looking person on your screen at 8:30 in the evening? I'm hoping
Arka, this session was open only to pranic psychotherapy. Some are Aratic yogis.
Some are Hathic yogi. Okay. If anyone avails option C, I'll be super happy. Lots of blessings to you. In case you don't, that's still okay. Spiritual, we are one. But so okay, it's open to pranic and above. Psychotherapy, that's great, because then we can talk about some of the other things which normally we don't much go into. Okay, so first thing I've said, how many times have I said first things first? Probably 3 times, right? There's the all rule of 3. All right, now I want to first give a vote of thanks to Shavana ji and Jayesh ji for having me over here. We had a great lunch. Hard to believe it was just last week, and we're discussing the various ways in which we can bring pranic healing, arhatic yoga, and the teachings and techniques. So for those of you who've done arhatic yoga, you know there are 5 pillars, right? There's the pillar 1, which is devotion to God, respect to the spiritual teacher. There's purifications, there's meditations, there's service and tithing. And of course, there's this pillar of study. So we at PranaWorld, pranaworld.net, what we've kind of specialized in over the last 15 odd years is to bring the study element forward, to bring all the recommended readings, various esoteric literature, stuff which is a little difficult. We try and make it simplified. We try and make it more approachable. A lot of the tips and techniques that we've picked up in these books, which can be brought forward, because as Master Choa Kok Sui says, there's commonality in all kinds of different spiritual backgrounds in different religions. So as we extract what is useful and we put them together, we found things over here that have made a huge difference. Would you be interested in knowing why we're having this session on prosperity and why I'm qualified to talk about this? If you're interested, just give me a thumbs up right in the chat, because I can see some of the expressions, I can see some of the things. I will be putting a presentation up on the screen at one point in time, but then I also want to kind of connect. Does that work? Like I can hear some of your inputs, I can give you some of mine. That works, right? Fantastic. So I am a specialist in cancer healings, in ICU cases, that's emergency hospital cases, and in business healings. Okay, so I'm a specialist in these things. The first 2 things I do not charge for. Cancer healings and ICU cases, usually I don't charge for anything. If anyone pays something, that's fine. The prosperity healings, I charge a lot of money for it because we have the results to prove it. So I'll give you two case studies. Case study number 1, it's what I call my 995 example. Okay, it's a 995 example. There was this company. Actually, hang on. Can we do an invocation first? Should we do an invocation first? Yes, yes, yes. How many of you want to connect to the invocation first? Yeah, all right, great, fantastic. I love the fact that everyone's already into option number 3 because you love seeing what you have on your screen, but let's give credit where it's due to the Supreme God. So if you would just keep your spine straight, right? Keep your spine straight, all right? Relax your shoulders, just relax your shoulders. Relax those shoulders, right? Because if you're going to say hi to God, we're going to say namaste to God, salutations to God. And if you're going to go there all serious, God will be like, smile, child, or something like that. So take a deep breath, take a very deep breath. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Hold your breath, hold your breath, hold your breath. Now open your mouth and exhale. Open your mouth and exhale. That's right. Take a deep breath through your nose. Open your mouth and exhale. You feel that tension melting away? Take a deep breath through your nose. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Now take another deep breath and lock it in. Second deep breath. Yeah, that's right. Lock it in. Now open your mouth and exhale. Drop your shoulders. Inhale through your nose. Hold your breath. Take a second deep breath. Lock it in. Open your mouth and exhale. Take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose. Hold your breath. Exhale through your nose. Hold your breath. Inhale through your nose. Keep your shoulders and arms relaxed. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale very slowly, very deeply. Hold. Exhale very slowly, very deeply. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Keeping your eyes closed. Bow your head slightly. Bow your head down slightly. Put your hands in the prayer position, in the namaste position. Become aware of your heart. Become aware of your heart. Become aware of your crown, the top of your head. Become aware of your crown. And from your crown, say to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to my spiritual teacher, to all the spiritual teachers, holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, the spiritual helpers and beings of light, to the angels of prosperity and abundance, to the angels of pranic healing and arhatic yoga, We invoke your blessings of divine light, divine love, divine power, divine help, divine guidance, divine protection. Thank you for your blessings of abundance, prosperity, and spirituality. Thank you for guiding our thoughts, our words, and our actions. Thank you for your divine help, divine guidance, and divine protection. Thank you for blessing us with the knowledge to understand and absorb the information, with the wisdom to apply it in our lives, and with the illumination to use it to help other people, for the blessings and help of humanity and the world. We thank you in full faith. Now take a deep breath. Be aware of your crown. Absorb the blessings. Exhale slowly and gently. Take another deep breath. Be aware of your face, especially the area between your eyebrows. Exhale slowly and gently. Feel a smile. Now take another deep breath. Become aware of your heart. Take a deep breath. Feel that love. Feel that love. Exhale. Gently open your eyes with a big smile. With a big smile. How is everyone feeling? How is everyone feeling? Good? Great? You want to write it down how you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is like you're feeling like you've achieved oneness with your higher soul already. 10 on 10. That's fantastic. That's what you're looking for. That's the power of just doing some good breathing. So 8 out of 10. See, you're already feeling a difference between how you're feeling like 5 minutes back and 10 minutes. 5 minutes back, 5 minutes back, and 5 minutes later. Yeah, mathematics. So when we start, Master Chokuksi says, start with objects, or start with power. Generate. When you're generating prana shakti, when you're generating energy, starting with a good emotional state is super important. Okay. By the way, if I'm speaking too fast, tough luck. That's how fast I speak. If you need me to slow down, just write down over there slow. But for the most part, because I get really excited talking about pranic healing and what it can do for our lives, right? I've been doing it for some years now, not as long, not nearly as long as Shamanaji, but I get really eager and excited when you share the transformative stories about how it has made a difference. Now, of course, the healing, the meditation, all of that is there. Those are the miracles. But I've seen what it can do for people with financial challenges. So quick question to everybody over here. How many of you have all the money that you want and you don't want a single cent more? All those of you who have all the money that you want and you don't want anything more, you're just here because, option number 3, good looking guy. No? No takers? No? All right. How many of you are satisfied with what you got? Like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Maybe we can get a little bit more, but I'm good. How many of you there? No? If you're there, just put something in the chat. Put a thumbs up, put a smiley, put something so we know. Because if you're there, then we'll be sending more energy to you. Aha, now you've got people smiling over there. There we go. Third option. Any ideas what the third option is going to be? How many of you want to go really, really, really far ahead? You want at least 10x the amount of money you've got. How many of you want 10x the amount of money you got? Because if you want it, then write with capital letters in the chat, YES. Yes. If you want 10x, 100x, whatever the amount is, yes, write that YES. Feel it. Write it. Yes, you want that money, right? Claim it. Got it. There you go. Now we're talking. Just by saying this, everyone here, you know how to scan, right? You know how to scan? You know how to scan? All right, scan the size of your aura 30 seconds before and scan the size of your aura now. Scan the size of your aura 1 minute ago, scan the size of your aura right now. Do you feel a difference? Do you feel a difference? How much of a difference? How much of a difference are you feeling? How much of a difference are you feeling? Write that down, write that down, write that down. Is it increased a little bit? Is it increased by, 5%, 10%, 15%, 2x, 2x, there we go, 2x, double, 10 times, huge difference, double. How many of you find it's at least double? How many of you find that it's at least double? How many of you find that it's maybe 5 times as more? For how many is it 10 times as more? It's massive. Why is it massive? Because you've taken that critical step in making your reality come true, which is you've spoken it into existence. Now, some of the teachings are public. They are there in the public domain of various theosophical literature and other places. So it's very important that we don't, step on copyrights. The main factor over here is the moment you claim what you want, the moment you speak what you want, that I would like to earn X amount money. And here I'm going to just go a little dive into Tony Robbins. You heard of Tony Robbins, right? Tony Robbins, the number one motivational speaker in the world right now. He's amazing. He's massive. I was seeing a YouTube video of his some time back, and you know how he is. He's very rough. He's very direct. He's very to the point. He doesn't mince words. Okay. A style which personally appeals to me, but then not every style is for everybody. And Tony Robbins, he's on stage and he's telling people, all right, someone comes to you and he says, I want more money. I want more money. So I'll give you $2. Now get lost. Now he didn't say get lost, but what he says, I'm giving you $2, get lost. And the guy's like, what? He's like, yeah, you said you wanted more money, $2. You now have more money than what you did. It's $2 more. Yes or no? It's $2 more. Do you want just $2 more? Do you just want $2 more? No. So the question that I'm going to ask you, the question that I'm asking every one of you over here now, how many of you want more money? You raise your hands, correct? How many of you know how much money you want? Do you know how much more money you want? And I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 tentative hands going up. I can see a couple of hands going up. But the question that I'm asking, really, really asking is, do you know for sure how much more money you want? Be honest. Be honest. No? Now you have an idea. You have an idea that, okay, I want a nice house. I want a nice car. I want a nice, whatever it is that your money can buy you. Whatever it is that you think your money can buy you. Okay? If you don't know how much you want, how are you going to receive it from God or the universe or whichever magic genie, whichever entity, saint that you believe in? Do you agree with me on this? Do you agree with me on this? Okay, think of a kid. For those of you who have kids, whether you have children or whether you're married to them, sorry, I just had a relationship healing seminar some time back. So we were dealing with people who were like, yeah, I'm married to a friend, whatever. If your kid comes to you, okay, if your kid comes to you and says, Mom, Dad, Uncle, Auntie, I want $500. What's your first question going to be? Your kid comes to you and says, I want $500. What's your first question going to be? Why? Why do you want $500? Why, right? Now, that's one scenario. Keep that thought aside. Second scenario. Your kid comes and says, Mom, Dad, can I have, I love the comment that's just popped up on the screen. Can I have some money? Okay. A friend comes to you. Suppose a friend comes to you and says, Boss, I need some money. Buddy, I need some money. What's your first question going to be to your friend? What's your question going to be? It's going to be, how much? How much? Right? Now, we being spiritual kids, spiritual children of God, we don't know how much. Well, some of us do, but most of us don't. And we don't know why. So when we go, we're going to be asked by God, how much? And then we're going to be asked, why? What are you going to do with it? Now, if the child says, I want chocolate, they're not going to buy $500 worth of chocolate, are they? They're not. But if they say, well, I just want chocolate, then you say, okay, I'm not going to give you the money. I'm going to give you the chocolate. I'm going to give you what you want. I'm not going to give you that much money. Do you agree with this? Yes or no? Yes or no? You agree, right? Makes sense. So if I don't know why I want something, what I'm going to do with it, what do you think are my chances of getting it? Your kid comes to you and says, I want $500. And you say, why do you want it? Because I don't know. What are you going to do? Are you going to give him the money? Are you going to give him or her the money? Yes or no? Yes or no? Answers in the chat. Yes or no? Because remember, we just did the experiment. We just did the experiment where when you affirmed, when you wrote, your aura increased. So don't go back to silence. Write. Writing stuff makes a difference. There you go. That's another technique. Writing stuff makes a difference. For that, you have to learn Kriya Shakti. right? When is the next Kriya Shakti workshop? Whenever we have it, you must attend, because you get to learn how to write stuff. So if you don't know why your kid wants the money, you're not gonna give it to him, correct? So that's number one. Number two, if you don't know how much you want, are you gonna get it? Are you gonna give a loan to your friend? Your friend says, give me some money, and says, I don't know, $10,000. What's your reaction gonna be? Get lost, right? Yeah, exactly. Boo. No, not happening. But if your friend says, okay, I want $1,000, that's a reasonable enough ask. Some of you might say yes, some of you might say no. Some of you might say, well, I can't give you 1,000, but I can give you 500. Does that sound about right? Make sense? Is this what your normal reaction would be? Now, we know that human beings are created in the image of God, right? You have this saying, this teaching, that human beings are created in the image of God, right? We have the qualities of love, light, and power, and the various other elements and energies that go into it. So then, if we are in the image of God and we are also children of God, if we go and ask our divine parents, that mom, divine father, divine mother, I invoke for your blessings for abundance and prosperity. And if I don't have it written down, if I don't have that clarity of how much I want and what I want it for, whether it's for a project or a particular project, whether it's for someone's medical treatment, whether it's for something you want to buy, whether it's something that you want to travel to, or something for fun, if you do not have your logic explained out there, what are your chances of getting it? In the chat, ladies and gentlemen, and all those who are attending who are not in a physical body, to all the etheric beings who are out there, because we get etheric beings. What are the chances of you getting what you want? Oh no, don't just tell me slim. Look, I'm a big guy. Don't use the word slim. Let's be inclusive over here for me, right? Let's be nice. Let's put it in terms of percentages. Zilch is a good word. Zero is a good word, right? By the way, do you notice you're feeling lighter? You notice you're feeling like you're smiling and all the time, right? You feel more energy coming in because, right? Let's go back to the basics, literal basics. What is the most fundamental meditation that we can do? Twin Hearts meditation, right? We know Twin Hearts. Which chakra gets affected or gets activated when we do Twin Hearts? The heart. And as the heart gets activated, which one gets activated? The sex chakra, correct? The heart chakra activates and that automatically. No. Which one? The crown chakra. There you go. There, I prompted you with the answer. So the crown chakra gets activated. And what happens when the crown chakra gets activated? Divine energy comes down. And as divine energy comes down and it goes through your entire system, what happens? Your aura becomes clean. Your aura gets flushed clean of all negative thoughts, negative emotions, all that stuff. And when you have a clean aura, when you have a big aura, a bright aura, what happens to you? Are you able to easily attract wealth or not? Yes or no? Write it down. You know how this goes. Write this down. Write stuff down. Yes. So there we go. Now we're talking. There we go. Keep talking. Keep putting that yes. As you keep smiling, as we go through this journey in which you're smiling and you're happy, as your heart and your crown activates, as your aura gets flushed clean, the stuff that you are feeling blocked about starts to move away. It's as simple as having a smile on your face. Now, whether it's through jokes or laughter or stories, point is you've got to keep your heart active. And so to answer the question that has been asked over here already, if you have a project, you can ask for the project, definitely, because the example of the kid, I want chocolate. So then you go and ask for the chocolate, and you being the supportive parent that you are, you also buy the chocolate and you also buy the toothpaste. So because, no cavities. Take care of your teeth. That's important, right? See, you got to keep the laughter going. You've got to keep the smiles going. Don't you want to be around a person who makes you laugh and smile? Like, think about the time when you were a teenager. For some of you, a little while ago. For some of you, a longer while ago. Think about your first crush. I mean, now you might look at people and say, public indecency, but think about when you were young. You used to hide and stuff, those phone calls. I see some eyebrows raising. Wasn't it nice to be with that young lady or gentleman who made you laugh, made you feel good about yourself? Didn't it feel good? Yeah, didn't it feel good, didn't it? Yeah, there we go. Don't go crusty. Yeah, there you go. Yes, always. So why do you think money is going to be any different? Question to the audience. Do you think money is going to be any different? Start with a positive psychological state. If you're going to be doing your meditation, if you're going to be doing your service, if you're going to be doing your donations and tithing, and if you're going to be doing your Kriya Shaktis and all of that, be happy. Okay? Be happy. Think of a happy event. If you can't think of a happy event thinking, oh God, my life is like this. Just imagine that you're looking at yourself in the mirror. Let's just look at that. Find your own video on your screens. For those of you on your mobiles and your laptops and whatever, just find your own video on your screen. For those of you who don't have your videos on, tough luck. But for the 18 odd people who have their videos on here, find your own screen and then 3, 2, 1, smile. 3, 2, 1, take a deep breath. Smile. There you go. That's beautiful. All right, just scan your aura again. Scan your aura again. Scan. You see the difference? You see the difference? Smile. That's it. That's just it. Now, I'm always going to be smiling when I'm talking about pranic healing because I love it. It's changed my life. So I'll tell you a couple of personal stories. About 10 odd years ago, I did that thing which most young men do. I'm not talking about my love affairs. That's a separate chapter. That's for the relationship sessions. I'm talking about the financial ones. Just in case you thought, because I gave the example of young love and all of that, I was young a long time ago. I am young now because I meditate. I had made that mistake, which most young men do, which is to start a business with my friends. And as this particular story goes, as many stories of this type, I lost the money and I lost the friends. The fastest way of losing money and losing friends is get into business with your friends. So I had in Indian currency lost about 6 years worth of savings, and it was a reasonable sum of money, and I had left with 3,000 rupees in my bank account. That's at that particular time was, I think, just about $50 or less than $50, which is not a whole lot of money, especially after you've been working. I started working when I was younger, and I had saved up some amount of money, and we made the websites, and we made the products and inventory and all of that, and just less than $50 left to my account. So I went back to my mentor. I went back to the teachings of Master Choa, and it says, if you want more money, give more money. So tithe. So 10% of that, which is 300 bucks, Indian rupees, I donated to a charity. And I decreed it. That was an important part. You have to decree. As I decreed it, the place I was decreeing it to, someone came and said, oh, I haven't seen you in a while. What are you up to these days? And well, I'm doing healings. And oh, you're doing healings. Great. I've got a case going on. My mom or dad, someone needs some help. Do you want to take this up? I'm like, yeah, sure. What are your charges like? And I'm like, $100? They're like, oh, okay, sure, done. So the amount I paid, I got 3x that back right there, right then and there. And that kept going on and on and on and on until not only was I able to recoup all my savings, but I'm very proud to say, I'm very happy to share that some years back, I made a target that I would like to tithe the equivalent of an entire year's salary. I want to tithe the equivalent of an entire year's salary. I'm very happy to share with you that not only has the target been met, it has been met over and over and over again until it reached a point where I'm like, okay, I want to be tithing 3x my annual salary. Sounds interesting, right? It's possible. Now, I've said this, and I'm offering myself up for you to scan my energy as to when this happened. When I said this, please go ahead. You can scan my spiritual cord at the time of all of this stuff happening. Don't believe me just because I'm saying so. I know I'm very charismatic, and I know you've got your attention all through, but don't be taken by that part. Scan, please validate. By the way, how much time do we have for this session?
It's 1 hour, but you can carry on. It's okay. We are happy to have you online, Arka. We'll let you decide.
Great. Do you feel a difference? Do you notice the energy? What's the quality of that energy like? What happens when you try and push that energy? What happens if you try to poke that energy? So if you want to make your finances grow, the easiest thing to do, donate. What you want, donate, donate, donate. And I'm sure you've heard this many times. I'm sure you've attended a lot of sessions and seminars and heard from many, many speakers. I'm yet another speaker, and I'm telling you the same thing. If you want money, give money. If you want money, give money. And the question is, what if you donate anonymously? You must be donating anonymously. There's no question about doing it in public, because if you are going to, so this is an important factor. If you donate publicly and you make a show or a tell of, look at me, I've done this, the good karma that you're generating gets used up in bringing you attention. What do you want? You want more money, or do you want more attention? Which one? Decide for yourself. Decide for yourself. If you're going to be donating, do not let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. You know that saying, right? Don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. So if you're giving money and your left hand is like, hey, this is not in the budget, what are you doing? No, don't do that. Basically, just make sure that you're keeping things quiet. And the technicality of this is, do you want to donate to an individual? Do you want to donate to an organization? Do you want to give it to a poor, helpless person on the street? The idea is that your money, your hard-earned money, must be stretched to the maximum. This is taught in the higher courses of Master Choa Kok Sui, of Kriya Shakti, of even in spiritual business management, and of course in higher parts of Arhatic Yoga, or in Arhatic Yoga when they talk about tithing. You must maximize every cent. What did I say? Or what did Master Choa Kok Sui say? Write that down. Maximize every cent. So then if I ask you, based on this, if I ask you, do you want to give to a person or do you want to give to an organization? Which one do you think maximizes, stretches out the number of people you can benefit? The criteria is that every cent goes in sharing to an organization. So now, most of you are saying organization. Let me ask you this. Let me really, really get you on this. Organizations have overhead costs, right? Rent, electricity, maintenance, salaries, staff, marketing, all of those things, right? So then for every $100 that you are donating, what percentage of it is going to helping people, and what percentage is actually going to the organization? Fact to be considered, right? Fact to be considered. So as someone wrote in the chat, I think it depends. That's the right answer. It depends. It depends. So you can change a person's life. You can pay off their debt. Maybe they've got credit card debt, or maybe they've got some loan sharks. It's a young mother, single woman, and you just paid that money and you've completely changed an entire generation. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Are you going to say, no, I'm not going to give it to you, I'm just going to feed some hungry people instead? It depends. How do you determine this? Are you interested in the answer? How do you determine this? Are you interested? Yes or no? No one's writing yes or no. You got to be writing yes or no. Scan. Simple answer. Scan. Between a person and an organization, an individual, organization X, Y, Z, A, B, C, whatever it is, scan and check that energy. Scan and check your own spiritual cord at the time of giving. If you find your spiritual cord increasing by giving to an individual, give it to that individual. If you find it increasing by giving to an organization, give it to the organization. Interesting stuff, right? Am I communicating, to quote someone? Do you get what I'm saying? That not only does it depend, you've got to scan and check, and you've got to scan and check every time, because you're giving to one person and that person's doing good work. And then all of a sudden you'll feel that, you know what, I'm not sure that he or she is fully invested in this work anymore. Maybe something's happening. That's why you've got to scan and check. Because this question that you've asked in the group right now, what if you give it to an individual for purpose A, but the person uses it for purpose B, or X, or Y, or Z, right? Scan and check. Giving money, according to Master Choa Kok Sui, quote unquote, giving money away is a science. Giving money away is a science, right? Quote unquote. So you've got to be really, really careful. You've got to be really, really organized in how you tithe. A lot of us, most of us, almost all of us are good people, right? Anyone here who's not a good person? Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah. I see a lot of smiles over there, so I see you. That's okay, because I'm in the same boat, right? We're all in the same boat. I mean, I'm on a chair, but same boat. If you are going to be good, you want to be good for the most part. But there are times when you do get angry, when you do twist the truth a little bit. It's happened to all of us, right? I'm not going to ask you yes or no. You know it. It's life. You can't go through life being nice and kind and gentle and sweet 24/7. You can't be. You can't be. Not with your colleagues, not with your boss, not with your kids, not with your spouse, not with your friend's spouse. You can't. Or your friend. Just can't. You need to understand that people are going through their own evolutionary cycles. If we want to maximize the value of every cent, of every dollar, we have to scan and check the person, if it's an individual, their spiritual cord, their various chakras. Should I tell you which chakras to scan? Should I? Yeah. What am I getting out of it? If I tell you, what do I get out of it? It's in giving that you receive. What am I receiving? Huh? Show me the money. Scan that throat chakra. Okay, I've got a very green smiley grinning back at me. I've got to ask someone to actually enact that smiley out for me, the green dollar sign. Okay, so someone's giving me a smile, someone's giving the emoji. Okay, you've got it. Whoever you're going to be donating to, if the person is lying, if they've said, I want money for project X, but they've used it for something else, scan their throat chakra if you suspect something. Because if the person's lying, their throat chakra will shrink and become dirty. Make sense? Make sense? If you suspect, now, again, I'm working with the assumption that you are doing your practices, that you're doing your twin hearts, that you're practicing scanning, so that your intuition is also working. Right? Because if you just see somebody, I'm like, I don't enjoy the good vibe, and that's after you've had your lunch, then it's not your intuition, it's just your digestion. And this is I'm not saying this because I'm making a joke. I'm saying this because it's happened. Right? One of my clients, this person, young person, she would message me at night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock at night, saying that, I'm feeling palpitations, I'm feeling shortness of breath, I'm feeling extremely unwell. Should I go to the hospital? So 1 or 2 times I did the healings, and it was like, there's nothing really wrong with your throat or your heart. And then my intuition kicked in, and I said, what did you have for dinner? And then I had this and I had that, and I got a full menu of all the stuff that she'd eaten, devoured. And then I said, Miss, you don't need healing, you need a digestion pill. Have something for your gas. Because the gas just went up. Think of it biologically, right? The stomach, it's forming things, it's pressing up against the diaphragm, the heart rate getting affected, shortness of breath. I mean, haven't you noticed you overeat and then you feel, right? So nowadays, whenever this happened to me very recently, she messaged me at night. So, and by the time I got to the messages, she'd messaged. So like, I'm feeling not well. I've got palpitations. My heart is off. And then after 5 minutes, I think I shall take a medicine for my gas. Actually, never mind. It's not palpitations, it's just gas. So self-realization, okay? And I can just charge for my consultancy fee. Like, I've helped you with that. So it works with the assumption that you are doing your spiritual practices and that you are not biased. Let's be very, very, very clear on that, right? Clear? All right. So you are going to scan throat chakra of the person. If they are lying, it's going to become small and dirty. Now, one general way, one good way to ensure that you're donating to the right person and to the right organization is to scan the spiritual cord. Is to scan what? Write in the chat. What are you going to scan? What are you going to scan? Spiritual cord. Why are we going to scan the spiritual cord? Why are we going to scan the spiritual cord? Because a person who is using the money for helping other people is logically going to have an activated heart chakra, correct? Logically, a person who's helping other people, helping other organizations and animals, whatnot, environment, whatever, disaster relief, they're going to have an activated heart chakra, correct? Yes or no? Yeah. Now, if they have an activated heart, they're going to have what? An activated crown. And if they have an activated crown, they're going to have what? More divine energy. And more divine energy comes in through what? The spiritual cord. So you scan the spiritual cord. It's a shortcut to figuring out if they've got an active crown, if they've got an active heart. Agree or disagree? Agree or disagree? Write down. Agree or disagree? Agreed, right? So if you suspect that the person might be untruthful, scan the throat, scan the heart, scan the crown, scan the spiritual cord. Okay. Now, sometimes it might happen that the person commits to a project and this person is truthful. This person is very truthful. You can see that they're very passionate about what they want to do. They really want to change the world and make a difference. And you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to be donating some money to you every month, and you're giving them some money. And then you come back after 6 months to say, you know what? What's the status on this project? How many people have we fed? How many people have we clothed? How many people have we rescued? You want to know, right? Wait, are you the kind of person who just gives the money and then forgets about it? Or are you the kind of person who goes and sees that the money is doing its work? Let's go back to the first example. Your kid comes to you and says, I want money. And I want it for this or that. Are you just going to give the money and that's the end of it? Or are you going to follow about it? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to follow up, right? You're going to validate. That's the word. Thank you for that word. You will validate. That's the word I'm looking for. Validate. You're going to validate, yes? And you're saying yes now because I've asked you about it. What are you going to actually do? Validate. So you're going to go back to the organization, to the person, and follow up. And you say, yeah, you know what? I should. That's actually correct. I should follow up, but I forget. That happens to all of us because life gets in the way. All those over here who are alive, raise your hands. Okay, just making sure you're, with me. We forget. That's normal. That's natural. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the person concerned. We're going to ask them for a report card. Show me where the expenses are. That's what organizations do. They send annual reports. For those of you who invest in companies and share markets and all, you get an annual report, right? An earnings report, a spendings report, you have a balance sheet, a profit and loss statement. All of these are things. Now, if you're tuning out on hearing about profit and loss and balance sheet and this and that, and you're in a conversation about money, there's a problem there. If thinking about profit and loss and balance sheet and shares and all of this makes you feel, there's a problem there. You've got to remove your internal blockages about money. Someone says, I want to learn cooking. And they said, don't talk to me about stuff like ingredients and salt. Ugh. Technicalities. I'm not bothered. What would you tell the person? Someone wants to learn cooking and they're like, I can't be bothered with things like salt. I just want to take good photos on Instagram. Is that person serious? Is that person serious? Yes or no? Yes or no? No, right? So if you're in a conversation about money and statements like profit and loss and shares and dividends and make you feel like you're zoning out, do we have a problem? Did you notice that you have a problem? Master Chua says that just as our eyes have blind spots, you know about the blind spots in the eye, right? You have the iris, the cornea, and then you've got the optic nerve that goes to the brain. So that little part, you can't really see, that's your blind spot. So Master Chua says, just as our eyes have blind spots, our mind too has blind spots. Our mind also has blind spots, mental blind spots. So you don't know what you don't know. I'll say that again. There are things you know, there are things you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. For example, I know that I don't know enough about quantum physics. I can talk about pranic healing, I can talk about Arhatic yoga, I can talk about miracles and stuff. I cannot talk about engineering. I can't talk about, I don't know, how to write. No, I can't talk about how to write a book. But you get what I'm saying. I can't talk about how to play the piano because I can't play the piano. I like listening to it. I admire my friends who do. But if you're talking about making more money and you are feeling embarrassed to ask details, I'm answering that question. If you're embarrassed to ask details, then you know that there's a blockage inside. It could be an emotional blockage, it could be a mental blockage, it could be a psychological blockage, it could be any kind of blockage. If you know Arhatic yoga, you know what to do. Arhatic yogis, you know what I'm talking about? Those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, oh gosh, you're in for a good time. Go for Arhatic yoga. You'll know what to do to just remove the blockage. And over there, I want to share my second story. So I shared the story about how tithing turned my life around. I want to share the story for Friends Company. And in India, we have this thing called GST, the Goods and Service Tax. And every company, the moment they get paid by their clients and customers, they have to deposit a certain percentage of that to the GST department, to the main government body. And if you don't file your taxes on time, I'm sure governments are the same all over the world, you become public enemy number one, right? Right? So this Friends Company, they were in debt to the tune of, I think, $500,000. So the principal amount, the penalties, and the interest over and above that. Okay, all of that stuff happened. We started with the prosperity healing. We started with the business healings because there's a business healing protocol. There's a protocol you can actually use for healing an organization, for healing individuals to come out of prosperity, poverty situations. So they were in a very stressful situation. We started applying it. And then we sat down. There are also Arhatic yogis, the three of them, the two directors and I, we sat down for a period of, I think, 1 month. And 3 times a week, we would sit and connect. And we do the exercise for removing all the obstacles that are preventing them from making money and all the obstacles which are keeping them indebted. Okay, we can remove those energies. And then after a couple of months of doing this, they were advised to start donating a certain percentage of the overall principal amount, not the whole amount, the principal amount, to start donating it to charities. So they started donating to various projects, to education projects, to old age projects, to children, to animal, to orphanages, to disaster relief, all these little projects all over, war support, all over the place, small amounts. And they started paying back a tiny portion, I literally mean 0.001% of the principal amount. Because what that did was it showed that they had intent to pay. Write that down, intent to pay. They showed they had intent to pay. When they made that intent to pay, within a month, that's third month, end of month number 3, within the third month, they received an order, a notice, rather a mandate from the tax council saying that companies established between this time to this time are exempt from all fees and fines and taxes. It went from $500,000 to $2,500. From $500,000 to $2,500. 99% of that entire debt wiped off. Interesting, not interesting. Inspiring, not inspiring. If it is, right, yes. Amazing, right? So now think about it like this. Think about it like this. You're a parent. You are the parent. And your kid says, I want 50 bucks. Not 500, not 150 bucks. And you think, yeah, okay, it's 50 bucks. I can give her this amount. So you give her the amount. And then, because you like to validate, that's the word we use, right? You like to validate. You went ahead and you followed your kid to see what she's up to. And you saw that she was using that money to feed some kids, buy some biscuits for dogs, help other people. Money wasn't for her. She kept maybe some for future use, but she used it for helping other people. What is your thought going to be next time she asks you for money? What is your thought going to be as the parent the next time she asks you for money? You're going to give it to her, right? Or are you going to give more? What you're going to do? You're going to give more. You're going to give more. Do you understand the parallel I'm trying to draw with your life? If you want money, give money. If you want money, give money. There's a question in the chat asking for clarification on whether if the amount donated is small, will it be proper to find out how it was used? Let me ask this question to the group. Does the amount of money matter or does the energy behind it matter? Does the amount matter or does the energy behind it matter? Well, surprise, both of them matter. Both of them matter. Someone can give a large amount of money and be very greedy about it. They're like, I've given you that money, be indebted to me. I've given you so much, you have to use it, blah, blah, blah. You don't feel good about it. When we started the session, we were all ha ha, he, laughing and enjoying all of it. It's more serious now. Maybe because I've run out of jokes. I haven't, but I'm just saying, But you've got to keep smiling. You got to keep that energy up. As you keep that energy up, even the smallest amount of money can be so big. To illustrate this example, to illustrate this particular example, I will talk about a poem. I will not recite the poem, but the crux of the poem is that there's this person, this beggar, who has gone to collect alms, donations from the kingdom. And he's gone to the city square, the main kingdom, and the king is making an appearance. And the beggar is sitting there. It's like, I want money. I'm looking for some gold, something. And the king comes to him, and the king puts his hand out, asking the beggar to give. Visualize. Visualize the scene. The beggar's there. He's gone to the kingdom square. He's expecting to receive from the king. The king comes and puts his hand out. And the beggar is like, so he reaches into his little bag, purse, or whatever, and gives 1 grain of rice. He gives the king 1 grain of rice. The king goes away. The beggar collects, whatever fruits and other stuff that he can get. And then as he goes home in the evening and he opens his satchel, all the stuff falls out. He wants to see what he's earned, what he's gotten for the day. And he finds amongst all the odds and ends, he finds 1 grain of gold. He finds 1 grain of gold. And the poem, it concludes with the line that I wept bitterly and had wished I had had the heart to give thee my all. I will not translate or go into the poem of it because it is a lot of energy in and of itself. It is a lot of energy in and of itself. It's in the, this is from the Gitanjali series by Rabindranath Tagore. You can read the translations. It won a Nobel Prize for literature way back in the day. But that last line, when I read it, it touched something here, saying that how I wish I had the heart to give thee my all. So whether you're giving a big amount or a small amount, what is the energy you're putting behind it as you're giving it? What is the energy that you're putting behind it as you're giving it? Are you giving it with the expectation of getting something back? That's fine. You will get something back. You're bound to. That's how the law of karma works. But the reason you want to stretch every last cent is so that it can benefit more people, and your heart goes out to benefiting all of them. Your heart goes out to benefiting all of them. So it's like this. Let's try something. Everyone in the receptive position, please. Okay, everyone in the receptive position, please. This is going to be like a blessings thing. So if your video camera is off, you don't get any of it. And if your video camera is on and I know you and I'm seeing your faces, right, then you're going to get more of it. Aha, now the cameras are coming back on. See, it's the energy. Now the cameras are going back on. I can see you now. One time I said this and there was a person who wrote back saying, "Sir, I'm really sorry, but I'm in the washroom right now. I couldn't help myself. Do I have to turn my camera on?" And I'm like, you know what? I'll let this one go. So, ready? Ready? Be receptive. Be receptive. Take a deep breath. With the help and blessings of God, with the help of my spiritual teacher, Master Chokusi, Lord Mahaguruji, Mailing and all the great ones, may each and every one of you present here be blessed with divine light, love, and power. May you be filled with prosperity energy, with prosperity consciousness. May all your chakras, your crown, forehead, ajna, throat, secondary throat, front and back heart, front and back spleen, front and back solar, your minor chakras, your navel, your Mengmen, sex chakra, basic chakra, your minor chakras be cleansed thoroughly. May all the negative thought forms may all the thought forms of poverty consciousness be disintegrated within your system. May your entire system be cleansed thoroughly. May your aura be filled with prosperity energy. Now, accept. How do you accept? With sad and grumpy faces? What did we talk about? What did we talk about? Smile. Big smile. Smile until your cheeks hurt. And when your cheeks hurt, apply pranic healing to remove the pain. And then smile some more. Smile. Receive. Receive. Affirm. I humbly, verbally affirm, I humbly, happily, willingly accept this prosperity energy. I happily, gratefully, with love, accept the prosperity energy. And I offer myself as an instrument, as a clean and clear instrument for spreading happiness in the world. Smile. I happily offer myself to be an instrument for service, for spreading happiness in the world. It is in giving that we receive happiness, joy, abundance, and prosperity. Blessings be to all. Now take a deep breath. Inhale. Inhale slowly and very deeply. Hold your breath. Exhale slowly and very deeply. Please scan your energy. How does it feel now? Many of you might be feeling a little heavy. You might feel like you're yawning. You might feel like there's a sense of sleepiness. That's because there's a tremendous amount of energy that has come in. Feel it. Validate, validate, validate. Feel it. Feel it. Do you see the difference in your aura size before and after? You wrote down how you're feeling, 1 to 10, or your aura size. You wrote that down before. Please write it down again so we can validate it. 10x, 5x, 10. Some are feeling heavy, some are feeling sleepy. Now is an interesting part, and we have more or less reached the acceptable end of today's session. So I'm going to give you a few more pointers. Are you okay with receiving a few more pointers? Like, can I have like 5 minutes more? Can I have 5 minutes more? All right. So we spoke about the why. The why for money. Why do you want the money? Okay, when I was giving this talk to an entrepreneur, I said, you have to be very clear about the why for money. So the guy wrote down wife or money. Wife or money. And I'm like, well, that you've got your priorities right, sir. But the question is, why for money? If that made you laugh, please laugh. Because when I say it in person, everyone's like, ha, ha, ha. And then some people, they laugh and then they look at their wives and they're in the session and they look and say, ha, 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 ha. Feel happy about it. These are fun stuff. Okay, pranic healing is not all super serious and prosperity is not, it's fun. You feel happy when you're making money, right? You feel good. Do you feel sleepy now? You feel sleepy now? You feel heavy now? Yeah, just because I said that, some of you are yawning. Yeah, all right, fine. That's because the energy has come in. So the first part is, why do you want the money? So why will the money come to you? Second question is, how long are you going to keep that energy? How long are you going to keep that energy? The tap has been opened, right? You've opened the tap, you received a bunch of prosperity. You felt the energy, it's 10x more, right? How big is your bucket? How big is your bucket? If you misheard that, not my fault. How big is your bucket? The tap has been opened, yes? The prosperity energy has flown. How big is your bucket? If your bucket has a crack, has a hole, or if it's small, you can go to the ocean, but you're going there with a teacup. How big is your teacup? How big is your bucket? How clean is your aura? How clean is your aura in order to hold on to the prosperity energy? Please rescan and check. Don't believe it just because we said so. Scan and check your ability to retain that energy. And we've got a lot of embarrassed smiles coming on. You're like, How much? You receive 10x energy. How much can you hold on to? I'm not asking you to put that in the chat. That's for your inner reflection. How many of you are happy with that number? How many of you are happy with that number? All right, let me ask again. All those who are unhappy with that number, put a sad smiley on the chat. All those who are unhappy with that number, put a sad smiley on the chat. If you think you want to rescan yourself, go right ahead. I've got a couple of sad smileys coming up. Everyone else is more or less okay? You're happy with your number? Oh, okay. Someone's taken the time to put up a really sad smiley. I see you. And someone's crying. They're there. All right, someone's happy. We're good about that. And the person who's happy also gave me the emoji with the dollar sign. So we're good. Do you want to increase the size of your bucket? What do you think is the secret? The heart. The secret is in the heart. So, question to you. How often are you doing your Twin Hearts meditation? How often are you doing your Twin Hearts meditation? And if you're saying I'm doing it every day, great. How often are you doing it in a group? How often are you doing it in a group? Whether it's online, but ideally physically. Why? Because Master Chua says that when 7 people meditate in a group together, the energy generated is 100 times. It's the equivalent of 100 people meditating individually. So if that's 7 people, how many people are here? 61. So the mathematicians in the group, how many people's worth of energies do we have over here right now? about 8 times, right? About 6 times of that of the group. Do you want to use that energy? Do you want to retain that energy? All right. Make it a point to gather together physically, a couple of times a week, physically, in a group of 7 or more, to do the Twin Hearts meditation, to write down. So your key takeaways from this session, the first takeaway, if you're making notes in sequence, number 1, write stuff down. You need to know your targets. You need to know why, and you need to know how much. You need to know why, and you need to know how much. Point number 1, right? Point number 2. Point number 2. What is your validation? What is your validation? Are you making sure that your money is helping as many people as possible? You need to know why. What is your why for money? You need to know your validations, your reasons. You need to know whether you want money for a positive goal or a negative goal. Do you want me to talk about this, positive goal, negative goal, or shall we draw the session to a close? Which one? Depending on what you say in the chat, because I understand that you have a 1 hour time limit and I don't want to overstay my welcome.
Looking at this, Arka, I think we need you back again because you haven't done the session which we initially wanted. That's still pending. So we need Arka again. Yes, who says yes? Type it in since he likes all the typing. Who wants Arka again next week?
I'm not sure
There
next
it
week.
is. Or the
We'll
other week.
coordinate.
Too many yeses. So we need this because we haven't finished our session with him.
So, all right, I can do that. But then the second session will only become more useful if there's already been a couple of Twin Hearts after following up. Because then the whole point is if you're going to take that prosperity energy, you want to stuff it into your system, right? Because you scanned and checked the amount of energy that was in the system. So let's discuss the positive and negative reasons. And then depending on your thoughts about it later on, we'll figure it out. How many of you want money, or how many of you know people who want money to avoid problems in life? That I need money so that, I don't fall sick, or if someone falls sick, I have money for that. I need money for a rainy day. I need money for, preventing problems, medicines, taking care of my parents, my kids, all of that. You got that as a goal, right? And then think of the second part. How many of you want money so that you can buy bigger and better things? You're going to go on that international holiday. You can, save up for a new car, a new mansion, get married again and again. There are positive goals and negative goals. There are positive goals and negative goals. If you want money to avoid something, what are you focusing on? What are you focusing on? The problem. It's a valid point. It's a very valid point that I want that money so that I can pay my taxes. I don't want to become homeless. I don't want to become sick and dependent. It's a valid reason. But as your human mind goes, what do you think the energy is flowing to? As your human mind goes, what do you think the energy is going to? The problem. So instead, if you can focus on what you want rather than what you don't want, what did I say? If you can focus on what you want rather than what you don't want, which one do you think puts you in a more psychological state? Like I can tell you, don't be sad. Or I can tell you, be happy. Which one works better? Exactly. You see, the human mind. So the first part of this particular talk, I guess I didn't know it was going to become a 2-parter or a 3-parter, is the psychology of money. By the way, there's a very wonderful book about it, The Psychology of Money. Read it if you can. Have you heard of this book, The Psychology of Money? I think it's by Morgan Housel. Pick it up and read it. Right? I'll tell you a story, not from the book, but from a different one. This is from a speaker called Ken Honda. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate this with an example. So, yeah. So say I've got a little pile of cash over here, right? I always like keeping a little bit of cash by my side because it's physical money. It's physical money. Holding it instantly. Okay, tell you what, I'm just going to keep this away. Scan my prosperity energy. Right? Something's there, right? Smile about it. It's a lot. Smile. It's powerful. I know that. And I'm not being arrogant about it, because it's a fact. I love attracting money. I love making people make more money. So naturally, money is attracted to me. You're scanning, right? Okay. Now I'm holding it in my hand. Rescan. Just scan. Just scan, 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 scan. Do you feel a difference? How much of a difference? How much of a difference? Quite a bit, right? Only double? No, it's more than that. It's more than that. It's going to be way more than that. So the trick that I read there, see, now you're smiling. The trick that I read in this particular thing, he says, when you spend money, Ken Honda, he says, when you spend money and you're giving it for something, you're buying something, you look at the money and say, goodbye, money. Thank you for coming into my life. Thank you for helping me buy these things. Goodbye, money. See you again soon. Come back again with your family and friends. Bye-bye, money. Thank you for coming into my life. Come back soon with your family and friends. Keep visiting. How's that for a trick? Huh? Rescan your prosperity energy. Rescan yourself. Nice. You liked it? You like that example? You like that example? Because I love it. I was like, whoa, this makes a difference. And I've tried it. I've tried that while buying a TV, while buying something, and it's brilliant. So this question that you've asked, is there a difference between thinking of money as a need rather than a want? Part two. Because see, money is just energy. Money is just energy, all right? Money by itself is nothing. It's what you can do with the money that makes a difference. It's what you can do with the money as a difference. So whether you need it, you want it, you desire it, you want to build a statue with it, you want to do something with it, it depends on what you want. Because go back to the first example. The kid asks you for money and you say, why? What are you going to do with it? So have a positive outlook of money. When we do this, when I do the presentation, I have the presentation opened up over here behind, it's on my desktop, where we talk about objects and talismans and various things you can do. We can actually make it much more useful because you've already been primed, you've already got the energy behind it, so you can just go in and get the most out of it. Makes sense, right? You learn how to maximize things. So to answer the question over there, because money as a need seems negative to me, again, it depends on individual to individual. We need money. There's no two ways about it. You can't do service on an empty stomach. Before you start feeding other people, you've got to feed yourself. Before you put the oxygen mask on the co-passenger, you need to put the oxygen mask yourself, assuming you're flying on a suspect of a plane, right? So depends on your psychology of money. If you think you've got a negative attitude, get rid of it. Pranic psychotherapy helps. Pranic psychotherapy, you can do your inner reflection. Inner reflection from resolution, right? Inner reflection. Yeah, do that. Get together in a group. I cannot emphasize this enough. All my clients who have seen success stories, they've all done the Twin Hearts meditation in a group. Groups of 7 people. They get their staff members, their cleaners, their drivers, whoever. They get together and they meditate if they're not meeting the numbers. It is mandatory. If you want to grow, you cannot grow alone. You've got to grow with people around you. You agree with this, right? Get together now. Get together now. Shavana ji, remember when we got together last week? You remember how the energy kept going up?
Yes, absolutely. We were 1,400 people.
That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy. So know your why for money, know your why for the money, what you're going to use it for, validate everything, check everything out, write stuff down, get together in a group. Twin Hearts meditation is a mandatory thing. It's a no-nonsense, non-negotiable. You cannot skip your group Twin Hearts meditation. You cannot do that. Because if you do, I'll see you in the next session, and then you're going to scan and check, you're going to have a good time, and then stay where you are. You want to stay where you are? There you go. So with that, let's bring today's session. Did you enjoy? Was something of value? If you did, just give the feedback over there. But most importantly, rather than just sharing and stuff, make things happen. Use the momentum. It's inertia. You're stuck in some place, you want to move, move. Just move. That's it. That's it. Ready? So,
Yes, sorry, before you end, you need to give us the second date because this is incomplete and we want you back. Thank you for this. We really, really appreciate the time and effort you put in. I'm very, very grateful. Let's commit. We didn't do his presentation yet. This was meant to be, and this was really amazing. How many agree this was a really amazing session? We benefited so much of scanning, so much of validation. It was fantastic. And remember, we have Aratic Yoga group meditations, which happen every day online, and many of us don't join. So maybe this is an initiative to do that. Thank you. So when would you be available?
Online? You do Aratic Yoga online? You do the Blue Triangle online too?
Everything.
You're missing out. You're missing out. Join the Blue Triangle. It makes a difference. Huge difference. Shall I make you commit to how many of you are joining in for the group meditations online? Shall I make you say yes? Because the money's going to come to you. How long is it going to stay with you? And it's one thing to say money, money, money. It's a different thing to say, oh, money, oh, money, oh, money. Right? So next Monday, let's do it for next Monday. And same time, same place. Works? If it works, thumbs up. Or
7th
yes.
March, sorry, 17th February, everybody okay with that? Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. So everyone, thank you so much for being here. Let's end with a prayer of thanks. Shamanaji, would you like to give the prayer of thanksgiving?
No, please go ahead. The energy is flowing with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck with me getting any sleep tonight. I'm super charged up. All right, hands in the receptive pose. Hands in the receptive pose. And what we're going to do is we're going to smile. Just be aware of how happy you're feeling. Now go up to your heart. We now go up to your crown, and from your crown, send a wave of love to the whole world. Send a wave of love to the universe. And just say to the Supreme God, to the universal Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to my spiritual teacher, Master Choa Kok Sui, to Lord Mahaguruji Mening, to all the great ones, to the saints of all traditions, all the holy gurus, holy masters, archangels, holy angels, beings of light and spiritual helpers, to the angels of pranic healing and arhatic yoga, to the angels of prosperity and abundance. Thank you for your priceless blessings of divine light, love, and power. For healing, inner healing, physical healing, psychological healing, and prosperity healing. For healing my relationships. Thank you for guiding my thoughts, my words, and my actions. Thank you for your divine help, divine guidance, and divine protection. I am grateful. And feel that gratitude. Feel that gratitude. Smile. Now imagine Master Choa Kok Sui in front of you. With your eyes closed, imagine the teacher in front of you. And smile at the teacher with your eyes. There's a saying that life is like an echo. What you give to the teacher comes back to you many, many times. Smile at the teacher. Now, you have to be respectful, so don't yawn. If you feel a yawn, just gently, close your mouth. Smile at the teacher with your eyes. Be very respectful. If you can see the teacher in your mind, nod your head. Nod your head. Yes. All right. Now, with your eyes, you say, Atma, Master Choa Kok Sui Namaste. Atma, MCKS, Atma, Master Choa Kok Sui Namaste. May God bless you with abundance, with prosperity, with spirituality. May God bless you with all the wealth, all the resources, all the qualities, all the team members required for your great vision to materialize. Master Choa Kok Sui, may God bless you with good health, with happiness, long life. May your children be blessed. May your organizations be blessed. May the Institute for Inner Studies, may World Pranic Healing Foundation, may all the centers, all the foundations all over the world be blessed. Master Chua, may your work be blessed. May Master Chua be blessed by God with prosperity. And now you can put your hand in the Namaste position. You bow your head and you feel that reverence, you feel that love. With the teacher, all things are possible. Smile at the teacher and say, yes, Atma, Master Chua Kuk Sui. Thank you, Atma, Master Chua Kuk Sui. With deep gratitude, with the deepest respect, with lots of love, with all my love, thank you in full faith. Now, keep your hands on your lap, palms downwards, hands on your lap, palms downwards. With the blessings of God, may the energy be anchored deep in the earth. Brilliant white light going down from the base of your spine and the soles of your feet, deep, 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 deep into the earth. May your aura be completely flushed clean. May all the excess energy be flushed into the earth. May Mother Earth be blessed with good air, good water, good earth, and good people. Blessings be to beloved Mother Earth. So be it. May all the excess energy in all your auras be clean. May you be blessed with tremendous prosperity, abundance, and spirituality, with goodwill and the willingness to do good. So be it, so be it, so be it. Take a deep breath, become aware of your whole body. Exhale, take another deep breath, become aware of your head and shoulders and your chest. Exhale, take another deep breath, become aware of your face. Exhale, take a deep breath, become aware of your forehead and your eyes. Exhale, take another deep breath, exhale, eyes open, wide awake. How do you feel?